Lose your cookies. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Blow that up. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. I think we're ready. Here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, dog pillows.
Hope you like wrestling.
I sure do. Batman loses one of his own.
Scooby-Doo is back.
The fat Jew is in trouble.
What to do with a naked Irishman.
Fitness geek.
Jury duty and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
For your good health, the best prescription is good information. Anita Parvin's HealthCast on Channel 6 Eyewitness News is a daily dose of the latest medical technology, diseases of the body and the mind. How to prevent doctor visits or questions to ask your physician. Medical updates for the young or tips that'll keep you feeling young. Health information you can use. HealthCast exclusively on Channel 6 Eyewitness News.
Straight out of Compton.
The Morning Stream. The Morning Stream. The Morning Stream. The Morning Stream.
The Morning Stream. I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
The Morning Stream. The Morning Stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Stream, TMS for short. I'm Scott. That's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Well, hi, Scott. How are you?
Well, I don't know. I have a dentist appointment today.
You're dreading it. I can tell.
Yeah, I don't like it. Partly because I have a. So it's just a cleaning, right? A checkup. But I already know I have a crown that has to be done, so that's kind of going to be like a revisiting of that. And here's how it'll go. It's always the voices that they use. So it'll be like, I have this very talkative hygienist who does my cleanings, and she wants to yap the entire time. She's like, so how are your kids doing? And I'm like, oh, that's just great. My kids are... Blah, blah, blah. And she'll go on forever. And then she'll eventually poke at the one tooth that needs work, and she'll go, yeah, that one's still... Yeah, like that kind of talk. I hate it. I hate it because
I've got the very talkative dental hygienist, and I think she must be looking at a map somewhere behind where I can see. Right, I'm laying down there, I'm staring straight up at a little TV that they have, a little monitor that they have hovering over my face.
Yeah,
and somewhere behind me, I'm sure there's a map that shows my teeth with like a little skull and crossbones by the 2 or 3 exposed nerves that I have somewhere, hidden, scattered around like a lost city of Atlantis treasure map.
Oh yeah. And you always you have those weird sensitivities, right? You always tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, there was some issues when I had braces that there was, when they took one of them off, there was a little bit of exposed nerve under one of the teeth at the very base of the tooth. That
oh Lord.
Yeah.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah, and it's never like, you don't grow enamel back. When you lose enamel, it's gone.
Yeah, there is no renamel.
Renamel.
It is gone enamel.
It's all denamel.
Denameled. Yeah, absolutely, That's true. And then underneath is that weird gooey yellow thing layer that isn't really protected very well. And yes, I've been through this, and I have a tooth where that's starting to fall. It's all starting to crack and fall apart. And today will be one of those days where they go, oh, yeah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be going, gosh dang it, have a positive attitude about my mouth for once. Gosh dang it. I hate the dentist. I hate it. I'd rather have that eye doctor, a Japanese eye doctor with his knee in my crotch all morning.
Right. It is funny because aside from some little bits of technology, like the little sonic drill thing that they use instead of the metal one, like the water, the forced water drill.
Sure.
It's not like that area has gotten improved by technology in such a way. Like, you should be able to just say, cleaning, all right, bzz, little hypo spray in the neck, and you're out, and you wake up 30 minutes later, and your teeth are done. It's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah,
See
thanks.
you later.
See ya. Thanks for all your help. Really appreciate it. Gotta go.
Here's a printed out list of the things you should be doing until the next time we see you.
Yep.
Boom, done, out the door.
Give us your copay. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'll report back, I'm sure. I have a nice little story to tell you, though. A nice little
Tell me
story.
a nice little story.
So we have a hammock in the backyard. It's actually Wendy's. She left it with us when she moved to Sweden, And
Nice.
it's a big, full, like not between trees type, but
It's
like
a
a
self, like it comes with the big metal bar thing that,
yeah, like a little cradle bar deal.
yeah, right.
And it's a big, nice one that even like two people could get on there if you're careful. Like it's a pretty big, nice hammock. And I like to go out there and read. I like to get out my Kindle and hop on there and read and let the time
Nice.
pass. And, just read like in the evening is very nice.
How do you, what voodoo magic creates all this time in your life? I wish I knew.
I don't know. Actually, I only had about 20 minutes, so I took 20 minutes.
Still.
So I went out there. I laid down on the hammock there. The sun is setting. Had some time before dinner. I thought, you know what, good time to read. And I'm out there with the dog. And Jim Raynor, the female dog, she's out there
Right.
with me. And she freaks out if you're on the hammock because she just wants to be with you so bad.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to do anything but be with you.
Sure, of course.
And so she just and dancing around the thing like, I've got to get up there. I've got to get up there. And I keep saying, it's fine. Just calm down. I gave you a little bone treat thing. Go just chill with that. But she doesn't want any of that. She wants to be up with me. And so she has learned that if one of the sides of the hammock is dipping just a little bit, so your weight is there more than the other side,
Sure.
that she can get up there. The problem is she'll jump up, and she's got these big, long, spindly legs. The hammock has a bunch of holes. It's a net. It's not like a hard surface
Oh, right. Okay.
for
Yeah.
which her paws could gain purchase. It's big, giant
Nice
holes.
Raising Arizona reference. there.
Exactly. Where my seed could find purchase.
Yes.
So they're big gaping holes for her feet to fall in and then get stranded there like an idiot.
Right.
And she somehow last night, this was actually amazing to watch. I had it dipping a little bit to the left, but I'm watching her. Usually she'll jump up there and surprise me and freak me out, and I got to help her down and stop, put my book down or something. This time she totally surprises me, she surprised me with what she did, but I'm watching her. She gets up on top of it, somehow manages to place her feet on all of the cross stitching and not in the holes,
Wow. Okay.
and then just
Impressive.
stood there shaking, and then slowly tiptoed over to me. And I thought what I would do is just let her go and let's see what she does.
Sure.
So I'm just kind of watching her, kind of with, just curiosity, not making a face, not freaking out, trying to keep her, whatever she's going to do, I'm going to let her do it and observe it like David Attenborough in The Bushes, man. I'm just going, here we see the lizard with only one eye as it approaches its mate. I mean, that's kind of how I was doing it. It was like a BBC documentary out there.
You were Marlon Perkins, and this was Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Wait, how'd that music go? What was the
Yeah, I
Mutual of
can't
Omaha
remember that.
music? I can't remember. Anyway. So we'll find a link, I'm sure. She gets up on top, and then I thought, well, what she'll do is she'll come try to clobber me and lick my face and just kind of get on my chest, and that's the place where her feet don't have to be so careful around the holes. And instead, she slowly makes her way up around the back of my head, and there's like a built-in pillow that's like sewn into the thing.
Into the fabric.
Yeah,
Yep.
like a long one. It's made out of like burlap or something. She gets up around my head, curls around my head with her body, like so her feet are like now hanging down my shoulder on this side and her head is down on this side. She licks my ear once and then promptly falls asleep.
Aw.
It was adorable.
Like she's a pair of Beats headphones.
Yeah, like a pair of Beats. Dre, yo. And she got up there and she slept for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes till I had to go in. And I just thought to myself, wouldn't this be nice if I could reproduce this? Like if she could do this every time.
Right.
So then this morning, I thought, you know what? I got a few minutes. I've eaten breakfast. I'm kind of chilling before the show. I'm going to go out there again and lay there and see what she does. Mm-hmm. She jumped up. Her legs went in the hole. She was freaking out. I had to help her up. Then I put her kind of up near me. Then she seemed to like want to just bite my ear and freak out and then fall through the holes again. One time only, dude. One time only.
Yeah, it was basically she was in the right mind space yesterday.
Yeah. Her little doggy brain was she was just
Firing
tired
all
enough,
cylinders.
just tired enough, but also just desperate enough to be with me. Like just the perfect situation. Maybe it's an evening thing. I'll try it again tonight. And we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Aw.
thought I'd share that with you. It's a nice little story, right?
That is nice. Yes.
That's way better
Yeah,
than going
I
to the
love
dentist.
the dog curling up kind of things because we've got both of our dogs are fairly big, right? I mean, we've got a big chocolate lab, and then we've got a German Shepherd Shar-Pei mix.
Yeah.
And she's not full German Shepherd sized, but she's probably good 2/3. and they make great pillows. They just, they're laying on the love sack or the floor, and you're watching TV, or you're, just looking for some doggy cuddle time.
Yeah.
And they make fantastic pillows. Those
that's
dogs.
awesome. Yeah, the big dogs. There's something about them, right? There's something about a big frickin' dog.
Yeah.
Outside of the giant poos they leave, but
I'd be afraid to put my head down on a Chihuahua.
Yeah, me neither, dude. Well, this thing's half Chihuahua, half mini pincher, mini Doberman.
Min Pin.
Yeah. And she's just never going to get any bigger, but she kind of also does have some of those big dog qualities, like the big long legs and the kind of big dopey feet. And
Yeah.
the
Well, she's
longer
bigger than a
nose.
Chihuahua, though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She's closer
Photos
to
I've seen, yeah.
what she looks like if you took a full grown. This is the truth. If you took a full grown greyhound, shrunk it down to about puppy size of a greyhound, and then never had it get bigger than that, and then had it turn and make it black, that's basically her. She looks like a greyhound. It's really
Cool.
weird, and she has the face of a Egyptian god, like a Ra statue.
Oh, right. Like the is it Anubis that is the tall black god with the dog face?
I think it is
The long-
Anubis.
long pointy face?
Anubis. I'm going to look it up real fast and confirm. Yep, confirmed.
There you go.
If you guys look up a picture of Anubis, that's basically my dog.
Except not walking on two legs.
Yeah, or walking
Oh,
around
I don't
with,
know. Maybe she can. Who knows?
walking around with pharaoh clothes and stuff. But yes,
Right.
facially speaking, very very cute.
Statue. There was an island I went to once that had a statue like that. I can't remember where it was.
An
but,
island?
Yeah, it was an island. Yeah.
Oh, look at you, fancy
Yeah.
island hopper man.
And then in the future, the legs got broken off, and it was just the legs were all that were left.
Just like real life. Brian, do you miss Jon Stewart?
I miss John Locke. No, yeah, I do miss Jon Stewart.
Yeah, I feel like a voice has been silenced in the world when Jon Stewart left.
Yeah, like he's gonna disappear anytime soon.
Well, you'd think.
What's he doing now?
Well, you'd hope that maybe they were, like him and Letterman were playing cards one night and said, we ought to do something together.
Oh, that'd be great, right?
Yeah. No, that's not what he's doing.
Driving in cars with Jon Stewart and David Letterman getting coffee.
I would even go for some of that.
I would too.
But sadly, and unfortunately, if you missed Jon Stewart already, I hope you really like wrestling. Because here's what he's doing. He's only been retired for 2 weeks. Jon Stewart's lined up his next hosting gig. No, he's not getting behind another desk or interviewing important people or making important statements about the world around him. Not talking when he smells something, right? He's getting in the ring with WWE.
In the ring.
He's
not going
hosting-
to be like Joe announcer on the sidelines or something like that. He's like in the ring.
Well, I don't know. It says he's hosting WWE's 2015 SummerSlam. Now, what that entails or how involved he gets is not entirely clear. It says here the annual event will be broadcast live from the Brooklyn Barclays Center and WWE's network on 7 p.m. Pacific. Or what? I don't get that.
7-6 Central. So 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
How is that set? Oh, is that what that means? 7-6?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never paid attention to that. Anyway, earlier this year, he got in a feud with WWE heavyweight champion Seth Rollins. He taunted Rollins online. Let's see, leading the wrestler to crash the Daily Show. The two settled matters in the ring during an episode of Monday Night Raw back in March. So apparently there's some precedence for this. It appears that he will probably end up in the ring.
I missed the whole Seth Rollins thing. I had no idea there was any sort of connection between Jon Stewart and wrestling.
I
These
feel
seem like two completely different worlds to me.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with you on that. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
So he's going to get into wrestling again. Watch for that, everybody. Tune in your televisions. That's probably a pay-per-view thing, isn't it? If it's a WWE network.
I would think so, yeah.
You're going to have to pay for that. Anyway, that sounds like fun.
1995, one time only, Saturday night.
You weren't an 80s kid that was into wrestling, right?
Not one bit. I mean,
neither.
hey, I know who Andre the Giant. I know who Hulk Hogan
Sure.
is. Andy Kaufman, he's a guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's a dude.
He was my gateway drug into wrestling, right? Because you kind of follow what Andy Kaufman and the whole Jerry Lawler thing. And,
Sure, and Letterman and that whole
and
appearance.
Letterman, yeah.
Sure.
That was the only foray into wrestling that I ever made. I tried watching Saturday morning wrestling after cartoons one day, and it was just like, okay, yeah, this does not do it for me. However,
yeah.
I like Joey Image a lot.
Oh yeah, I like him a
and,
great deal. Sure.
and it's easy for me to say that he's my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, and you can smell what The Rock is cooking.
That's right. He was a wrestler.
He sure was a wrestler. Still shows up there occasionally. The thing is, I didn't either, and I think part of it was it still had a mystique in the 80s that a lot of adults were arguing whether it was real or not. Remember John Stossel getting punched on an episode of like 2020 by a wrestler because he put a mic in his face and said, "Tell us about your fake sport," and he punched him, and all that did just seem to add. I'll never forget that for some reason, for whatever reason that stuck out in my head. But it just added to this mystique that maybe it is real or maybe it isn't fake, or like there was always that going on around it. So I could never have fun with it. It always felt like a negative place for me. So it just wasn't fun for me. I feel like today, I always snapped into a Slim Jim because Macho Randy Man Savage, or whatever his name is, was very interested in me doing that.
Right.
I like the guy on They Live, or what was it? Who just died?
Yeah, right. All out of chewing gum, dude.
Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
Yeah. I mean, these guys, their crossover stuff was great. Like when they would move into something else, I was like, yeah, dude, wrestling.
Right.
But the actual wrestling part, just couldn't do it. Couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it was great when they would when they would cross into the world of acting.
Yeah. 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 Well, did you put quotes up? I hope you put quotes up.
I did. It's all real to me.
All right. So here's that scene on 2020. You ready for this?
Right,
John Stossel. This is just audio for those at home, but here you go.
Tag team partner of Eddie Mansfield, the wrestler who's just told us how every match is fake. I asked Schultz questions that I assume all wrestlers have been asked dozens of times.
What? Is this a good business?
Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't.
Why is it a good business?
Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk holding the camera reading he ain't in it. Reading these rednecks out here ain't in it because it's a tough business.
That's terrific.
Wait, is that all you got?
I'll ask you the standard question.
Standard question.
I think this is fake.
You think it's fake?
Oh, he just punched him. Just decked him right in the nog.
What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake?
Oh, I did it again, dude.
Oh, man. I'm not even seeing this. I'm hearing it, and I'm
so
wincing for the poor guy.
as a kid, that utterly shocked me. Like, put me in a mindset of, oh my gosh, wrestling is where people are terrible. And I think that stuck with me. I think I just couldn't get into wrestling after that. So way to go, dude. Way to stossel that guy around. Anyway.
Wow. Really quick thing to plug before we get to Stump a Trek Nerd.
Yeah.
The please suggest special episode topics field is up. This is the Alpha Geek thing that Todd. So the Indiegogo for Alpha Geek Radio funded.
Yeah.
Hooray, hooray.
Hooray.
And one of the things that was part of that were these special episodes that would pair up a couple of Frog Pants and DTNS and Diamond Club personalities. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm using the air quotes. I really shouldn't.
Right.
Pair up these personalities for special episodes. And now there's recommendations for topics for these special episodes. And if you go to tinyurl.com/Alpha Geek Topics, all one word, lowercase, blah, 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 right. Then you can enter in your request for an episode topic that you'd like to suggest. And I'm guessing through that link also the and then I guess then you're going to vote later on host pairings to perform them. So first the topics and then the pairings of the personalities.
That sounds all right to me.
Hosts.
That seems like an okay deal.
Yeah.
Go check that out. And also grats to Todd.
tinyurl.com/Alpha Geek Topics. Boom.
All right. I like it. I like where your head's at. Let's call Daryl then.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well, all right. What else he going to do?
Nothing.
He's got to come on eventually. All right. Let's get him in here.
That stopped really abruptly.
That's his new, it's our new slogan for him. Daryl Skeels. He's got to come on sometime. Welcome to Stump a Trek Nerd, brought to you by...
Hey everyone, we are Pieces of Ace, the Asexual Podcast by asexuals for asexuals and for anyone else who wants to listen to our randomness. We have cake, cats, a lot of silliness, and a small slice of seriousness. Join Steve, Tom, and Robin live on YouTube Sundays at 7:30 p.m. GMT. That's 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and the only time zone that matters. Just search for Pieces of Ace. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Facebook at Pieces of Ace on Twitter, or email piecesoface@gmail.com, or visit piecesoface.com for any other details. Really, if you just search for Pieces of Ace, you'll probably find all this stuff. Please, please, please contact the show. We'd love to hear from you. Signed,
Pieces of Ace.
Pieces of Ace.
Amazing. That
It's not Maslow's stages of learning, but there's another advertising thing that says if you hear it 2.3 times, it's committed to memory.
Yeah, 1-800-555-3211. That's 1-800-55. Like you used to hear it all the time on the late night infomercials. They just repeat that number like 7 times. I forget what it's called though. I took in a marketing class where we had to learn all about that.
Right.
And I don't remember any of that class now.
It's the power of repetition, people.
Well, let's repeat what we do on the show. Actually, I think there's a new principle of that at play in podcasts. The more you do a thing, the more people will complain when you change it. I really think we need a name for that though. Yeah, what's that called?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Stump a Trek Nerd principle. I like that idea. Daryl is here. Hi, Daryl.
Corollary.
I like it. The skills corollary. That's pretty good. Daryl, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good.
That's fantastic. How'd you like your bacon cookies last night?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It tasted to me like it was 1880, and there were 3 cowboys around a campfire making cookies, and one of them tripped on a stick, and they all fell in the fire, and then they scooped them out as much as they could, burned their hands, and so the burned stuff from their hands and the ashes all got mixed in, and that's what I ate.
I had a ska band in the 90s called Tripped on a Stick. They were fantastic. That's a great name for a band.
I'm surprised you didn't like it. I thought were yours not soft and moist?
Oh yeah, they were soft. Lots of fleshy, burned stuff was in there. Yeah.
So your problem is not yours was all flavor combination there, right?
Yeah, it was too weird.
There's a tweet from him at the gym going, "Oh no, I'm burping up," or no, it was a text. I'm burping up bacon cookies at the gym. Thanks, or something.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try one of the more normal ones today. And see if you fare any better. Daryl's the Trek Nerd, comes on here, answers hard trivia questions about Star Trek. We're back to Star Trek after our Futurama whirlwind 4 days, and now we jump directly to a Next Generation question about an episode called Allegiance. All right, so here you go. The Enterprise has just completed a mission where they have successfully gotten rid of a plague on the planet Kor Karoli 4.
Kor Karoli 5.
5, I meant. Kor Karoli 4. That's a terrible planet name.
Still 5.
5, I mean. Gosh dang it. Kor Karoli 5. It makes me want to say 4. Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway. It's got nothing to do with that. I know what that Roman numeral is. I just cannot get it out of my head. Anyway, what plague did they eliminate on this planet? Was it you think that's Cyrox plague? Or
Phyrox.
Phyrox? Okay. You don't think it's like psychology or something? With a PHY?
Well, no, psychology still has an S in it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It has a PSY.
Yeah.
So never mind. Phyrox plague, Rudelian plague, Rudelian plague, Orneron plague, right?
Omeron.
Orn? It looks like an Orn to me. R.
I think it's an M, isn't it?
That's 2 letters. Hold on. Yeah, that's an R. RN.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that when the R and the
runs
N
together.
are so close together.
Yeah, it looks like an M to me, too.
All right, I'll back off on that one.
Orneron plague or the Auroral plague. These are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
Phyrox plague, Rudelian plague, Orneron plague, or the
wow.
I can't say the last one now. Auroral plague.
Auroral.
Holy shit. All right, so those are your 4. Those are your 4 options, Daryl. While you consider them carefully, let's do one of these.
Are you hungry? Aren't you hungry? What's a foodie?
Sent to us by Stephen. I almost said Root. Stephen Potter.
Potter, yeah. And be sure, folks, if you want to try these yourself, damngoodglutenfree.etsy.com. And so far
I agree. Daryl does not agree so far, but we agree. How about the Sinful Snickerdoodle? That seems like a safe place for Daryl.
Yeah. And my note that I got, I
Yeah.
have it here in front of me. It says, the PS on it says, if you get a perfect week, the week you taste these cookies, I will send you a dozen cookies of your choice.
Oh.
I think we know which flavor you won't choose.
Right.
When he says perfect week, he means you getting all the answers right.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
okay? He doesn't mean the sun's out, the kids are happy.
gosh.
Oh, these smell
These
good.
smell absolutely heavenly.
Yeah, these smell good.
I may not share these with the family.
And again, these are gluten-free, so they'll either fall apart like crazy or they'll be magically held together.
Stephen,
that's
what do I
all.
have to do to get?
Yeah, what do we have to do?
What do I have to accomplish to get?
Oh,
It's
those
a
are
long
good.
wrapper to unroll.
It is,
Oh.
and you're not done when you get to the end of that wrapper either.
Those are good.
Oh, you've already eaten? Jeez.
Oh, I'm just smelling them.
Yeah, get on the stick, dude. Eat them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
These
see?
are much
cinnamony,
better.
cinnamony goodness right there.
Yeah, that's really good.
These are really good. I might choose this one if I get a perfect week.
You can always tell when something's gluten-free, though, because it really would fall apart if you played around with it too much.
Yeah, it's crumbly,
Nice
but
one.
it's moist and yummy.
I'm sure he's listening. He'll get it.
Yeah.
That's damn good. All right, that's a winner chicken dinner. We're going to keep that one off to the side there so I don't get tempted. I'm doing like Brian. Keep it just out of reach. Mm-hmm. And then I reach for it and it'll be like, no, remember you put those there.
That's right. Brian is between you and those cookies saying,
Hey, Daryl, Shatner has a question. Whoops. And he wants to know, where's his Today in Star Trek History?
Well, it's right here. In 1992, on this day, principal photography started on Deep Space Nine.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When did Vice Principal photography start? Dad joke. When that show end? It was like 90.
99,
Nine?
I guess.
Was it
7
99?
years.
By the time that ended, we were thick into Voyager by then, right? That was already going on because that was like 95 through something. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was always overlap, and except Enterprise, did that overlap with Voyager? This is the only one I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think you're right. I think that came after Voyager ended, but otherwise they always had an overlap from TNG forward, except for that, I guess. Anyway, interesting. Boy, those those were the heydays of the Star Treks. I'll tell you what. It doesn't
Yeah, and they
exist so
had
much
movies overlapping the TV shows too. So there were like 3 things
Right.
all at once.
Oh, you're right. Like the
You'd
next.
you'd be having TNG and Deep Space Nine and a original series Star Trek movie all at the same time, right?
I remember loving it, thinking it was so cool in like '98, I think it was, when the Picard movie First Contact came out, and the way they got Worf to get with the crew was to fly the Defiant from Deep Space Nine, where he was currently stationed and was on the show. So Worf flew that thing over to hang out with the rest of the crew for that movie. I thought that was great. That was like, look at this, man. We're self-aware. There's a TV show going, and here's Worf. Like, I thought that was really cool at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was easily amused, clearly. Well, good job, Deep Space Nine, for being the thing that became what it is. Daryl, let's get back to your question. I don't want to read these again. Do you have a...
Do you remember them?
Do you remember them well enough for me to not read them again?
Well, I've written them down, but that fourth one, what is that really? Is it
It's
Orion
like-
or is
no,
it
it's,
Onion?
No, it's more like Aurora with an L at the end.
Yeah.
Auroral.
A-U...
Well, that's the fourth one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what did
that's
you
what
say?
said.
Third?
What's the fourth
The
one?
third one.
Oh,
What's
you
the
said
third one.
You said fourth one.
Oh, well, what an
Ornaran.
idiot I am.
Ornaran. Ornaran. Or
I don't like
Ornaran.
that at all.
Wow.
I have no idea. This could be the end of my cookies here.
Well said, sir.
It could be the end of your cookies. Can your tombstone have that on it, please? Daryl, here lies Daryl
Cookies.
Skeels. It was the end of my cookies. I like that.
Gosh, auroral. That's like an aurora. That's well, that's too plain and regular.
Sure.
Phyrox.
Pyrox.
Phyrox.
Was this TNG?
It was TNG.
It must have been a really late season one.
Well, it's episode Allegiance. Let's see if I can tell you what season that was in. TNG Allegiance. season. All right, that would have been 18th episode of the 3rd season.
Oh, great. I should know this then.
3rd season's good, man.
Yeah. Rudelian. Rudelian?
Rudelian.
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 Like the word rude with L-L-I-A-N at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a rude alien.
Maybe that's where they got that name.
How rude.
But then Firefox is like Firefox, but scrambled up.
Achuta.
Okay. It's PH, if that helps.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. P-H-Y-R-O-X.
Fire. And
Like
this is a...
like almost like the knockoff Oreo cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this
Hydrox,
is-
Pyrox.
Mm-hmm.
This is a plague.
Yeah.
Plague.
A plague.
A plague.
A plague.
No, a plague.
Plague.
What did I say?
You said it's a plague.
A plague.
Plague, plug, plague. It's all the same. Onion, auroral, root. See, I don't know. Oh, poop.
Hydrox, Rutabaga, Orion, or what do you want?
Rutabaga, onion, Hydrox cookies, or Aurora. Which one doesn't belong? Sesame Street says it's Auroral.
You think it's a rural? All right.
Using the Sesame Street method.
All right. So do you think that's the right one?
No, I just
Oh.
think it fits.
You just think it
with
doesn't
this-
belong if
You're right.
Sesame Street rules.
Exactly.
Which one of these things
Or wait, I
just
could
doesn't
use
belong here?
Brian's rules of the second highest one. So, what order do these go in? What's high and what's not high?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm high.
Alphabetically, it would be AOPR, so it would be Firefox, second highest if you're going alphabetically, numerically,
Right.
alphanumerically.
Alphanumeric would be Firefox. At the
Right.
highest.
Oh gosh!
But
now I
if
have
you're
to
going the
choose-
other direction, it would be Ornerin.
Yeah.
now I have to choose between Sesame Street or alphabetical.
Yeah.
There's always these choices.
I know it's hard, especially when you have a plague.
So I guess
Flag on all your houses,
Yeah.
Capulets.
it's between Firefox and Auroral. Oh, there's probably a time bet going on, and somebody that hasn't won in a long time is going to win now.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen the time bet go in a long time.
Yeah. They seem to have chilled out on that.
Well, it'll start up now, I guess.
Yes, Simon Plague. That's exactly right.
Firefox.
Excuse me.
Firefox. Where's that from? I don't know. I don't know where any of these are from. Do I choose... Okay, you didn't really jump in and let me win my cookies by saying, yes, it's Auroral. So I'm going to go with Firefox. I'm going to change to Firefox and do the alphabetical thing.
All right. You say Firefox.
And I'll blame Brian if I lose my cookies.
Well, let's find out if it's Firefox. Is it? Whoops. Is it?
And my leftover bacon cookies.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah!
You're a winner.
So far, so good for the week. You got a few more days to go, but we'll see how you do. The eliminated the Firefox Plague. Here's a clip of Picard discussing this in an opening chat log. So here you go, or Captain's log. Somewhere.
Captain's log, stardate 43714.1. We have finally succeeded in eradicating the Firefox plague on Core Caroli 5 and will soon be preparing to leave orbit and proceed to our next mission. A rendezvous with the USS Hood to assist in their terraforming efforts on Browder 4.
The Hood.
Core Caroli 5. Why do I keep wanting to say 4?
There
are 4 Core Carolis.
Corcarolis. Corcaroli. You want me? I should rub them out.
Core
Sounds like-
Caroli.
That's great.
Sounds like a Toyota car.
Again,
It does.
your Picard is not accurate. It's,
No.
but it's amazing. It's my favorite thing. I think you might do.
It gets
This
more and
is so
more
pissed off.
lampoonish every time I trot that one out.
Why do I want to only say 4? It's like this just angry, irritated British man. Daryl's the Trek Nerd on Twitter. You can find him there. You can also find him at This Week in Trek at thisweekintrek.com and the Grumpy Cast. Daryl, let's turn down the lights and you can play a game with us.
Okay. The lights are low.
Uh-huh.
There are 4 of them. Star Trek... Oh, am I really doing these? Okay, I'll do them. Star Trek episode title or actual game show.
Here's a
So episode title or game show?
episode title or game show. Here's your theme. All right, that's it. That's all you get.
Wow.
The Chair.
The Chair.
The Chair.
Welcome to the chair.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. There are all these British game shows, and I know there's one called The Box. I could easily see there being something called The Chair, where they have to sit in a chair and answer questions until, the chair electrocutes them or something, or slowly.
Yeah, like a Japanese. It could even be a Japanese game show.
Even could be a Japanthis thing. Yeah.
Can I give you a clue?
Yes.
I will give you a clue.
Wow.
Give us
Okay.
a clue, sure.
If any game shows ever showed up in this week's stuff, it would be American game shows only.
So it's
Oh,
only
really?
American
So
game
these would
shows.
not be foreign game shows.
The chair.
I still feel like that would be like one season hosted by Mario Lopez answering questions about Saved by the Bell or something.
Yeah, like it lasted not very long. Like nobody would care about it, and it got canceled too quick. Maybe it was something that came out around the time that My Name is a Millionaire. What's it called?
Who Wants to Be a
How
Millionaire?
to Be a Millionaire.
Are you smarter than a millionaire?
Are you smarter than a millionaire? You are the weakest link. All that stuff. I bet this is something that was like a fallout from that.
Right. Oh yeah, T2. You're right. It was the Cube, not the Box. It was the British one. It was so good.
I'm going to agree with Brian. We say it's a real.
Still say it's a game show.
Yeah, we'll say it's a game show. And by the way, if we get all these correctly this week, yesterday we got it right. If we get it right today and through the rest of the week, I think we should get cookies. Don't you think? That should be our deal.
I think it should be a deal.
Okay.
Then he's like, let's say all three of us get everything right. All of a sudden, he's shelling out 3 more boxes of Etsy cookies.
Yeah, exactly. Etsy cookies.
Etsy cookies. Cookies he could be selling on Etsy.
Ketsies, we call them.
At damngoodglutenfree.com
That's
or
right.
.etsy.com.
Stuff's so good. All right, Daryl. We say it's a
Okay.
game show. What do you say?
Back in 2002, Enterprise was on the air, and so was a stupid episode or a series on ABC starring John McEnroe. They only made 9 episodes.
John
where
McEnroe.
A contestant sits in a chair while being asked questions and tormented by various things like bees.
Yes.
And their heart rate is monitored and their money is lost for going over a
John
red line.
McEnroe?
I absolutely remember this stupid show.
Oh
yes.
my gosh, I don't remember it at all. I would have assumed it would be like a normal. Well, McEnroe. Why McEnroe?
Yeah, John McEnroe. It was they probably reused that chair for The Voice or something. But you'd sit in this chair and you'd get there'd be bees. There'd be a big screen showing your heart rate, and as you answered questions, you'd have to maintain your cool while John McEnroe's yelling at you and
Exactly.
bees are in your pants and whatever.
Check this out.
Alligators.
Says here, contestants on the program underwent extensive medical supervision before they ever made the actual game. The game was given, or before they made it to the game, they were given intelligence tests and had their heart monitored for several hours, among other diagnostic procedures, seeing how the contestants would react to sudden surprises. If they were declared fit, they would then move on to the game. Wow. That was kind of an attempt to do kind of a Japanese game show kind of thing there, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah.
Jeez,
God, I
Daryl,
totally
we let you be
remember
here
that.
too long. Bye. All right, he's gone. He was there too long.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
It is the news brought to you by.
Brought to you by Coverville, where this week I believe we're going to dip into the world of Ginger Baker. Oh, it sounds like we're talking about cookies again, doesn't it?
It does.
Ginger Baker was a member of Traffic and so many different rock groups of the 70s. So it's a great variety show to do. Ginger Baker turning 75 tomorrow. So happy birthday to Ginger Baker. Also, if there's time, if I can, then we'll do some Johnny Nash as well. He's also turning 75. But really, he only had the one song, I Can See Clearly Now. So we'll see if we actually even delve into Johnny
Is
Nash.
that his only one hit? That's it, huh?
That was his big hit, yeah. John Lee Hooker would have been 95.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
So maybe him too. I don't know. The mix of those three. It'd be rock and roll, though.
That song
Based
is
on this.
highly covered, though, isn't it? The I Can See Clearly Now, The Rain Is Gone. Lots of covers of that, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, but I'm not going to do an entire show of I Can See Clearly Now covers. Neil Finn does a great one, by the way.
Ooh, Neil Finn, eh?
Yep, Neil Finn.
I like Neil Finn.
Yeah, Cream, Traffic. He did the Ginger Baker Blues Explosion or something. No, what was it? It was Blind Faith. I mean, he's worked with like Eric Clapton and all these different groups.
Is it bad that I only think of
Ginger Baker's Air Force? That was the one.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that.
Hawkwind, most recently.
Sure.
or very recently.
That was my favorite DC spinoff universe, Hawkwind.
I guess he was never in. I thought he was in Traffic. He was never in Traffic. So Cream, Blind Faith.
Nice.
Oh, this is going to be a great show. What a great episode of Coverville is going to be.
It's going to be great. Tune in tomorrow live for it.
Right.
A beloved Batman impersonator has died in a Batmobile crash. This is a terrible way to go. Authorities say a man known for visiting hospital children dressed as Batman died in a crash in a western Maryland highway after his Batmobile had engine trouble. Police say 51-year-old Leonard Robinson of Owings Mills was checking the engine on his Batmobile while standing in the fast lane of an eastbound I-70 throughway there. This was on Sunday night when the car was hit by a Toyota Camry. The driver of the Camry wasn't injured. The crash occurred around 10:30 p.m. near the unincorporated community of Big Pool. Robinson was known for traveling in costumes to hospitals in the Baltimore, Washington area and gained national attention in 2012 when dashcam video surfaced of a policeman pulling him over while he was driving his Batmobile. Washington Post reported in 2012 that Robinson spent more than $25,000 of his own money on Batman-related items every year, including toys, T-shirts, and books he gave away to kids. That is a sad, not cool thing.
I know. For a guy who gave so much to everyone else and did so much for all these kids. So we will actually have a musical tribute to him in the middle of the show here.
Yes, I wondered about that title of that song.
Yep, that's why I threw that in there.
Oh, that's cool.
It was requested, but I probably would have shoehorned it in anyway.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing for that guy to be doing. You know what I would? Well, whatever. Never mind. I was going to say something, but I'm not now. Hey.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Coming back. Animated feature film being planned at Warner Brothers. Brian, do they go 2D cell animated or 3D? What do you think?
They go 2D. They go cell animated.
No way.
I'm really worried about this whole Charlie Brown thing that's 3D.
I am too, but then I've heard some people who on the ground who think that they're kind of blown away by how it's turning out.
Really?
Like they're actually being very faithful and true to it. There's a Popeye movie in the works that's also gone the 3D route.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Alvin and the Chipmunks looked all right.
Yeah, they looked okay. The movie was terrible, but
the movie was bad. But yeah, Smurfs, I guess, did that right, where they went from 2D to 3D. And
well, here's what they're going to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking is this will not be a crossover with live action mixed with 3D animation. This will be a full length, 2 hour,
fully animated, as opposed to. Yeah, no live action Freddie Prinze Jr. with
right, exactly.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and
Freaks and Geeks girl.
Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, which I didn't know until you said it the other day.
Just watched her. Watched Recommendal last night. Watched the Welcome to Me, which is the Kristen Wiig.
Oh right, yeah.
The woman with disorder. What was it? It was some sort of disorder, and she wins the lottery and gets to do basically whatever she wants.
Yeah. How was it?
It was really, really funny, and Kristen Wiig is just amazing in it. Yeah. She's really, really good.
So she's naked in that, I hear.
Yeah, there's a full frontal nudity scene.
Weird.
Which is really weird. It seems so Kristen Wiig like, but it fits in with the character, so it does make sense.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Brian, if we needed a special character for you to do, would you full frontal your wiener for everyone to see?
If the pay and the lighting and the and it fit the role, yes, I would.
The pay and the lighting and it fit.
The lighting would have to be just right.
I love your priority list. That was amazing.
Yes. Money and then lighting.
You got to pay me a lot, and then that lighting needs to be good. Sure. I don't know what my price would be. It'd have to be pretty freaking high. Scooby-Doo, anyway, where are you? You're at Warner Brothers, and you're being made into a thing. September 21st, 2018 is when it plans to be opened. Again, very precious few details. However, I think that that movie will probably do fine. Those first 2 live-action films, $457.1 million worldwide. They did just fine.
Put them together. I don't know. I'm worried. There's not a great track record for this sort of thing because they've got to modernize it, right?
Yeah, like what's a good?
So all of a sudden, Shaggy's got a smartphone and he's looking stuff up.
Yeah, I don't like that. You're making a good point. I'm trying to think of a good example of this working though, and I can't.
The Mystery Machine's got a GPS.
What's a good example of an?
One where it worked?
Well, Peanuts isn't out yet. The only other thing we had that
The
Mr. P-
Flintstones, various Flintstones movies.
Sure. The Peanuts one is, or not Peanuts, but the Mr. Peabody one's probably the closest to what I'm thinking, which is like an old
right,
animated thing turned into a new animated thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that kind of worked. I remember people
It
sort
looked
of
okay, but boy, it got crap ratings, didn't it?
didn't it? I don't know. What was the name of that? Sherman.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I can't remember. It was.
Let's see. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Here it is. Like 7 on IMDb, which is pretty high.
79.
Was it 79 on Rotten Tomatoes?
79 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad actually.
Not bad.
So
I think a lot of people didn't go because they just assume. See, this is the problem you run up against. You do this adaptation of an old thing, and it just looks like they're ruining it, even though maybe they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, was E. David C. is saying Johnny Quest in the late 90s. Was Johnny Quest done as a
No.
Was there an animated Johnny Quest movie?
No, they did, but there was a reboot of it, like a updated TV
show. Yeah,
yeah, which was actually pretty good. Wasn't bad. But I don't know. Part of what made Scooby-Doo great was that it was terrible. It was never good. Like, people forget, Scooby-Doo is kind of garbage. It was not a good show.
Right.
So,
there's a lot of nostalgia though that makes it good in your heart, right?
Oh, it's so bad though.
Would have gotten away with it too, for those meddling kids and that pesky dog.
Do you think they put Scrappy-Doo in there because he's the worst thing ever?
No, I don't think so.
Here, I'll give you a little a little Scrappy-Doo for you. All right, here you go. It's a taste.
Puppy power!
Oh yeah, puppy power.
Backy Boo.
Okay, Scooby.
Uncle Scooby? Scrappy Dappy Doo!
Oh, he sucks. He is the worst.
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
And I kind of like Scooby Dumb because it was just like the mentally challenged brother
Right,
of
yeah,
Scooby-Doo.
exactly. That was insensitive time in the 80s, right?
It was.
Not like Scooby was mental level, but
No, I guess yeah, exactly. We don't know what Scooby-Doo's freaking IQ was. Mental level. That's great. Anyway, watch for that coming soon. Hey, check this out. The Fat Jew. I'm not being rude here. This is his name. Mm-hmm. The Fat Jew lost his Comedy Central deal because he keeps plagiarizing everything.
Oh, well, there you go. That kind of deserves a firing, right?
I had never heard of this guy, but apparently he is mondo huge on the internet. I don't know why I missed this, but apparently he's like Mr. Giant Instagram following from hell.
Huh. John Ostrovsky.
Yeah. The internet went in an uproar when news broke that he he's better known as the Fat Jew. He landed a deal with Creative Arts Agency and a show with Comedy Central. Upon hearing the news, comedians, mainstream and otherwise, and social media jokesters blame the internet personality for stealing jokes, most notably writer Maria Quint, whose tweet went viral and caused other comedians like Doug Stanhope, Michael Ian Black, and Patton Oswalt to chime in. Today, the Splitsider is reporting. That's a website dedicated to comedy, I'm thinking. The Splitsider is reporting that Comedy Central has cut ties with the comedian. The internet will get you out of the paint faster than you can steal a joke. Sometimes life is fair, says thecomplex.com.
Wow.
Anyway,
yeah. Now I'm seeing pictures of him. Yeah, with the long top knot on the top of his head, the ponytail that goes straight up, basically.
Well, here's Katie Couric interviewing the Fat Jew. You want to hear that?
Okay. Sure.
Okay, this is a taste.
I picked a color for you, 2 colors actually.
Okay.
So I thought this kind of nice, I don't know, tar color.
Yeah, kind of edgy.
Yeah,
totally.
And then maybe this for a little levity. What do you think?
The yin and the yang. Honestly, let's party.
Okay, the internet's weird.
Wow, he's a riot.
Yeah,
that
he's
guy.
a laugh riot. Constant.
Yeah,
Here's
you
the
can
video.
tell because of the funny music in the background.
I need to share this photo. This screen grab of Katie Couric. By the way, this is with her gig at Yahoo. This is her talking on a Yahoo deal. Chat room, enjoy this image. There you go. Brian, you'll enjoy that as well.
I'm waiting for it to come up.
She is way into that conversation with the Fat Jew. Anyway, he's in trouble.
Wow, Katie Couric. Are they in a
they're like
nail polish airplane or something
they're
like
like
that?
a hair salon kind of place or something. And he's got this giant weird ponytail, and I guess he's just a real hoot, except he keeps stealing jokes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. And people are upset at him. So there you go.
Well, that's that's the internet doesn't stand for that.
Brian, have you ever
The
woken
stealing of material?
Have you ever woken up next to a naked Irishman before?
Oh, let me think. Maybe back in college, possibly.
All
yeah.
right, once or twice, sure. We've all been there.
Stuff happens. You dabble.
Well, a couple in Sydney woke up in the middle of the night to find a 25-year-old Irishman sleeping naked next to them. The woman woke and discovered the intruder snoozing alongside her at about 1:45 in the a.m. Her partner challenged the man, who picked up his clothes and went to leave the house before he was arrested by the police. He then began convulsing, which led police to call an ambulance for the drug-affected interloper, who was taken to a hospital shortly thereafter. The couple said the man climbed into the house through a window left open by the cat and wasn't completely with it. And this got me to thinking about that. What's that new...
What do you do with a naked Irishman?
What's that new drug called? Flex or Flax?
Oh.
Fluxy... Flaxy?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Plax?
Plaxidin? Plaxicirin.
Plaxicirin? Come on, chat room, help me out.
Plaxicobarres. Is that what it's called?
I don't think so. Not flaxseed. Plax or Flocka.
Flocka, okay.
Flocka. Hold on, I got to show you this. Oh gosh, Brian.
What is this? A side effect is that you'll wake up with a naked Irishman in your bed?
So it's this new drug. Let's see if we can find something.
Oh, this is like the new. That's just like the new bath salts kind of thing. Like not the new side effects include blah blah blah.
Yeah, I gotta turn that down. It's loud. So there's this guy. Oh my gosh, the stuff you do when you're coming down from it, you're just spazzing out and having a complete freak.
Oh really? Oh jeez.
Yeah, Flacca, it's called. Anyway, it's bad. It's real bad. Don't take it.
Stay away from the Flacca, kids.
Don't take the Flacca, guys. That's it. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have Fitness Geek with us. He'll be here. As you know, he's a great guy, and we love him, and he's great. So he'll be here. Talk about some fitness, and then we'll have jury duty. I talked to Justin last night. He seemed to believe that all is well today, so he should be here as well.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. he's going to, 5 minutes from now, he's going to realize he needs to be in an airplane. And
well, Brian, I always say stay skeptical. It's an important thing to do in life. So we'll hang on for that. In the meantime, Brian brought music, and will now play it for us.
Yes, well, as we mentioned earlier, on August 16th, Lenny Robinson, a.k.a. Lamborghini Batman, was killed in a traffic collision at the all-too-young age of 51. Mr. Robinson spent his spare time visiting the patients of children's hospitals in the D.C. area, dressed as Batman and handing out toys and such. Crash Kincaid wrote in, said, I would greatly appreciate it if you could find a cover to celebrate the life of a man who brought a glimmer of joy to so many children who so desperately deserved it. Rest in peace, Lambo Batman. You were the Batman we needed. Yeah, let's celebrate with a cover of the Batman theme. Had a bunch of different choices here. There's a great ska version of the Danny Elfman Batman movie theme, but it begins with a solo trumpet that actually kind of sounds like the death knell, and I thought, well, that would be wildly inappropriate. Let's do this one, because I love the Jam, the bitterest pill I ever had to swallow.
Yeah.
That Jam. 1977, they released this on their In the City album. It's a cover of the Batman theme. Here are Paul Weller and the Jam.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. Hang in there.
Wednesday, can business and pleasure mix?
You've got your eye on Frank DeMarco. I should have known.
Who would have expected it of our Mary?
I have no intention of going out with you.
Sexy, dynamic.
He's my boss. So quit.
Could this be Mary's best chance for romance?
Oh, yeah, can't miss.
And on Foley Square,
Lay it on me, boss. I can handle anything.
New York's brightest assistant DA faces her toughest case yet.
Happy birthday. I wish I looked like Tina Turner when I'm 40.
Wednesday.
Stop whining.
The morning stream. Bread goes in, toast comes out. You can't explain that.
All right, we're back. That was rocking. Love that.
That was rocking. That TV promo you just played could totally. It might as well be fake, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Can you believe that used to be what was supposed to get us all jazzed for an evening of sitcoms?
That's right.
I don't think it worked very well. Plus, I haven't heard of either of those shows. I guess I remember That's Mary or whatever that weird Mary Tyler Moore reboot thing was.
Right.
But it lasted like 5 minutes. And then that other one, like Porter
DA
Square.
with a heart of gold.
Yeah,
His faces her toughest case yet.
I can't believe what suckers we were. That's how they talked to the TV viewing public back then. It's a terrible time to be alive.
This week on Modern Family.
Ugh. No one does that now.
Sofia Vergara wears an outfit that's still way too tight for her.
That sounds about right. All right. Let's call Bill.
Bill.
We're calling Bill.
Give me the song. Give me the song.
Hold on a second. I gotta find the song for Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hold on. Where is it? Oh, come on. Shouldn't be this hard to find.
Really?
Oh, well, you know, I have it right here. Here.
Bill.
Okay, here it is. Bill Doran. Hi, how are you?
Hey, guys.
Oh, listen to you. You're like on a weird roomy Mikey thingy.
Am I? Damn it.
Yeah. Switch it over. Because you look like you're in your studio.
Yeah.
I am. I sure am.
You're not talking on that big mic in front of you.
Talking on the little tiny one on your webcam.
How's
That's much better. There we go.
How about that?
That sounds like you
listen
now.
to you.
Hey, usually you're in the basement room thing garage deal. You know?
This is what it looks like when my office is clean.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
Hey,
There's an April behind
April
you.
nest behind you.
I'm being
She
stalked.
washed all that crap off her face.
Hi. Oh, we miss you and your purple hair.
Good to see you washed all that crap off your face.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink coffee now.
Okay.
Bye.
She sounds very awake.
Yes,
Yeah,
everyone just woke up here.
Lovely.
Like a hippie commune you got going on there.
We do.
You guys are still in, I'm guessing, full-blown build crap mode.
That's correct.
Dragon Con. Yeah, right.
Got big stuff coming up. Bill comes on the show, talks about fitness and how to be a nerd and still be fit, which is good. We all need that in our lives. Bill, what's on your mind today? What's going on?
Oh, I want to talk about weight training. Pump and iron, bro.
Yeah.
Do you even lift?
No. The answer is no.
No. I've been expanding my weight training equipment repertoire lately. I just got one of those. I talked about those dumbbells or
Right,
barbells.
the ones you can adjust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, how'd that go for you? I know
those are
you.
great. I've been using them 3 or 4 times a week. They're awesome.
Nice.
Really pushing myself. I also got a bench, one of those padded like weight bench things. A buddy of
Ones
mine
you
was
lay down on. Does somebody spot you?
I don't have a spotter yet. The cool thing about those the one-handed barbell things is that if I have to drop the weights, I can just drop it. Oops! I can just drop it to the side. I just punch it. I just punched a Lego X-wing. Sorry, guy. I can just drop them to my side, and I won't drop a bar on my chest.
Right.
Like you see in so many fail videos.
Oh yeah, half the fail. See, I have a theory that fail videos are broken up into 3 distinct categories.
Yeah.
One is people running around with those exercise balls and trying to slam into each other. That never works out.
And then bouncing off of them like crazy.
Other one is a guy who didn't get spotted properly or isn't spotted at all for his weightlifting and then falls on his head or whatever. And then the third one is always some parkour idiot running around the city just about breaking his back. Those are your 3 mainstays.
That's right.
And the rest of them are dashboard cameras from Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Just as nice filler there for the end.
Look at truck hitting highway sign.
So anyway, I don't have to worry about that. I did get a bar though, like a what do you call it? Squat bar. So I have one of those now too. I don't have enough weights for it though. I need a lot more weights. So I got to start collecting up my collection of weights as well. But I got more, so I can do more, which is really, really cool. Start pushing myself a bit more.
When you say a squat bar, it's the kind you put it behind your head and.
Yeah, it's just a long straight bar.
Okay. All right.
I have a curl bar, but it's got like a wavy thing bar.
Right.
Not as fun to put across your back.
No. The weight distribution on those is weird if you try to do them behind your head.
Yes.
Yeah. I've tried that actually. That didn't work out well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I used to have this big Tongan guy that would do daily training at this office I worked at. So every day we'd do these like different routines, and he only had one of the curvy bars, but would still make us do it behind our head.
Oh, I got you.
And I think people got hurt doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm really enjoying doing all this weight training stuff. Like in the moment, while you're weight training, you feel like you're really working hard, and you are too. You actually, I can't remember what the numbers were, but when you're lifting, when you're really, really lifting hard, your blood pressure is like through the roof because your body's just oh my god, get blood to the arms. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, if you try and do complicated math, you're like, I can't, there's nothing left in my head.
Yeah.
But there are lots of other reasons why people should weight train.
Oh, yeah?
I found a list.
Ooh, I like lists. Lists are good.
Yes. So here's some really good reasons why you ought to strength train. Other than
Paul, top 10 reasons you should.
Other than it's a lot of fun, which I think it is, and it feels great, and it feels like you're making lots of progress. It can also help improve your posture, especially if you're doing like things like squats. If you're doing really well and doing them properly, you can improve your posture. You can also lower your bad cholesterol and your blood pressure.
All right.
This one I liked a lot. Apparently, 60% of people who weight train get an average of 7 or more hours of sleep at night. And I can confirm this because, especially lately, I've been doing my lifting later in the day, like right before dinner, and then come sleepy time, I hit the pillow and I am out.
Yeah. That is one nice thing about a good workout like that.
Oh yeah, totally physically exhausted.
I mean, you get that from other. Does weight training give that to you more because of the style of it, or because I feel like I get that with cardio stuff.
Yeah, I guess it really depends on how hard you push yourself.
Sure.
Because for me, I know when it's time to go to bed, and every part of my body is tired, like my arms, my fingertips, every part. I just right out. Something else that's kind of cool: you burn more calories while you're asleep. When you do your weight training, when your muscles are repairing themselves.
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I can't remember the term for it, but it's more of a longer term calorie burn, just because when you do weight training, if you do it properly, you are damaging your muscles, and then they have to be repaired.
Interesting. I didn't realize you were actually damaging them, like.
Oh yeah,
because that's the idea, right? You're building up new layers. It's such a weird thing, isn't it? Because what other part of your body are you supposed to injure so it becomes better? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've gotten hit in the head quite a few times. It has done nothing for me.
It doesn't rebuild your brain like while you're sleeping. Oh,
if anything, it's a steady decline.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a funny thing about muscles that no other part of the body seems to be in that vein. It's not like, oh, your bones are stronger the more you break them. No, they're more brittle the more you break them. So, interesting.
Unless you get an adamantium skeleton, which is my plan.
I hereby commit to lift more weights.
Imagine if you had an adamantium skeleton.
Oh, it'd be
that
great.
makes Wolverine weigh like 300 pounds, even though he's tiny.
Yeah.
But he's carrying around a whole bunch of metal all day long. It's probably why he's so jacked.
So exactly. He's a hugely jacked man.
Bad times at the TSA for Logan, the poor guy. Well, good stuff, man. Everyone should lift some damn weights. That's for sure.
That's right. Especially in the last one I got here, for people who are older, people who are elderly, they tend to have bone loss and muscle loss the older you get. And weight training can help prevent, nay, reverse that.
Whoa.
So even if you are getting on in years, you ought to continue the weight training.
Now, is that so? Sometimes you'd hear something like that and say, "We'll actually help you gain muscle at age 65." That's an actual thing that's been like proven, peer reviewed, like done, like real, like tested. Like
according to this infographic.
Well, all right then. That's all I need to know.
That may require a little bit more research, but it couldn't hurt to try.
Yeah, why not? I don't see how moderate exercise for anyone of any age is ever a bad thing. I don't care how old you are. Like if you're 90, live like an 80-year-old. It's fine. Everything's good. Bill, always a pleasure. Where can people follow your fine progress as you work toward your big events coming up?
Yes, we have PAX here in Seattle in just like a week and a half. Oh. And then Dragon Con right after that. Yeah. So if you go to Facebook, facebook.com/punishedprops, we do more daily update type stuff there if you want to check that out. Nice. Including wild ramblings from the shop and updates and progress photos and all that. So that's a good place to keep up.
Sounds like a good time. Chimbeard on Twitter as well. Dude, stay out of trouble. Good luck with everything.
Toodaloo.
Bye now.
See you, Bill.
I meant to ask, why was she over last night? What's going on with April? Oh,
I thought isn't she still living with him?
No, she has an apartment now.
Oh,
yeah. I think.
Oh well, then I don't know.
I think we should start a rumor.
She's probably working late on stuff for Dragon Con.
Oh, that's much less rumory than I was hoping.
Hubba.
Oh well, do what you can. All right, Justin's showing up. He's yellow.
He's yellow.
I don't mean he's a chicken. I mean that...
Jerry, you yellow!
You yellow-bellied bastard. He's ringing.
I challenge you to a race, Jerry.
You do that good enough that I think you'd be a bigger Western fan than you are.
Yeah, you think, right?
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of that voice.
Well, I like it. I'm going to...
It's my Biff from Back to the Future 3 voice.
Ah, that's why I was familiar.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Justin Robert. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to say your name till I play this. Hold on a second. I meant to do this earlier. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, yes. Welcome him back
Please
to
welcome
the show.
to the podium.
Yes, presidential candidate and contender success maker, Justin Robert Young on the line. Hello, Justin.
Hi, friends. How
Hi.
are you?
Hi. Hey, your thing's doing killer, dude. My gosh, you're killing it.
Yeah, man, it's doing like extraordinarily well. It's really insane, and it actually is frustratingly well because it did so well so fast that now it's really weird. We're in a really weird position on what we should expect and how excited we should get.
Yeah.
About where it ends up.
Yeah.
You know, because if we were at 13 a week out and we ended at 70, it would be insane.
Yeah.
We'd all high five each other.
Right.
Sure.
If, we're at 76 now, where should we end up? And this is a lot of kind of the internal sort of stuff.
Sure, and you're like, you had like 12 days left or something like that, right?
Yeah, and really the biggest thing is that we've proven that the more people see it, the more people like it. Like really, like we have a very, very high conversion rate of like whenever we get any kind of press, it does very well for us.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, okay, like how much, now it's all like, there's like this weird pressure thing of like, man, like how many more people can we get this in front of? Who do we know?
Yeah.
Somebody. Right.
Exactly. You guys gotta get Wheaton to play it on tabletop. That'd be cool.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think he's still doing it, or he's not filming it right now.
Yeah,
right?
they're between stuff. I think it's never quite clear whether there's new seasons or not, and I think they're between whatever that is right now. So I don't know.
Well, because they crowdfunded the last one.
Right, and did pretty well with it.
Oh yeah, no, they did extraordinarily well.
$500,000
that
or
show.
something. Sure.
And that's the thing is like there's certainly I don't know. That's what everybody says, right? And it's like well, I kind of because I think he would very much like it.
Oh yeah.
He's a very politically minded guy, and I think it's a fun enough game. Everybody that we've known that have had at least the temperament that he shares online, I've really enjoyed it. But at the same time, it's like you don't just want to be the 97,000th goober to send him a thing and be like, "Where's my card game?
on your show.
Would you like my card game?"
Yeah,
please?"
I'm sure they get none of that from anyone ever. I'm sure it's
so
always a quiet day on that front. Sure.
It's one of those things where it's like, you want to find a friendly way to do it. Although now we're in a pretty good position because it's not like we're overfunded, so it's not like we're asking somebody as a charity case.
Sure. Sure.
We're just trying to figure, I don't know.
It just feels like right time, right thing. Like all those factors are playing into this for you guys, and I'm super stoked for you. That's awesome.
Well,
Awesome to
yeah,
watch.
and that's the hope is that it's the right time for another year and a half,
Right.
and everybody enjoys it, and it's a thing. But tell you what, it's been very, very, very interesting that as this has kind of become more of a reality, and also it's like, the idea that this could kind of be a little bit of a job for another year and a half at the very least, if not longer.
Yeah. I mean, that would be really cool to see this thing blow up into something that meant more games, different designs, more options, stuff down the road that could end up being like this really great gig for everybody involved. That would be just amazing. So anyway,
meanwhile, we got to figure out what we're doing for it, because I still want to do the thing that we were.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it. I'm ready for you, man. You just tell me what you need, and we'll make it happen. All right. So it's always good to have you back.
Double Johnson.
We have not had you here since Nerdtacular, right?
Yeah. No.
That's jacked up. Or
No. I was.
One time.
Came in and did the news the first week after Nerdtacular.
Right. But I don't think we've had like a proper jury segment though.
When we had calls from around the world,
yeah,
covering up for your conspiracy to dethrone me as trivia champion.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. All that's whiskey under the bridge now, right? No one cares. We're good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, aside from my undying grudge, but other than that, we're totally
other than this thing you'll never let go. What else
Scott, give me a pause really quick.
Oh, are you getting trusty? All right,
yeah, just from both of you, so it's got to be.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's just resume this call. How we doing? Any better?
Much better. Yeah,
Oh,
it
good.
unjanks itself whenever you do that.
That's very strange. That's not like we don't like that.
No,
Skype's weird.
So it is weird. It's a love-hate relationship, and I just continue to love and hate it. Justin, so what else is happening? What's going on? Anything under your bug? What's happening this week?
Under my bug?
Yeah, that's the hot new thing.
Under your bug?
My bug.
Come on, old man, get with it. This is the hot new thing. The kids are all saying it, or I just made it up just now on the fly. Not sure which.
What were you guys talking about? You guys were talking about two of my favorite things.
Oh no! Are we going to talk about wrestling and Jon Stewart?
Oh yeah.
I really just kind of want to talk more about that. We were, for whatever reason, it is is like an inside joke between Brian and I, to do John Stossel impressions. Like whenever you're in the middle of like a conversation, like someone's like, oh, where do you want to go? Where do they want to go to dinner? Maybe they could go to McDonald's. People like McDonald's. Maybe a steak restaurant. Get a nice filet.
That's very John Stossel. What's he doing now? Is he a thing
He's
now?
on Fox Business Channel.
Okay.
Where is John Stossel? He used to be on 2020. Now he's on a cable network. One that isn't even the most famous of its family.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Oh, it's called...
The government says that you should be watching John Stossel.
His show is Stossel. It's called Stossel with John Stossel.
Really?
Yeah. He says things... Well, let's see. Let's play a little taste of it.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Here he is saying a thing. Hold on. Come on. Play. Why aren't we playing? Okay. If this is a commercial, I'll be very upset.
Is it a commercial?
Your questions or comments for my guest, Ann Coulter, who says that America's immigration rules really mean adios to America.
He totally does that. He's like, that's an upspeak thing everyone's talking about.
Well, so here's the secret to the John Stossel impression. A, you only speak in questions. And B, you're always smug and sarcastic. You only speak in smug, sarcastic questions.
All right. This is good to know.
Does Scott really know how to podcast? Maybe he's just been winging it.
All right, so let's go back to this wrestling thing real quick. When he got punched or open hand slapped twice,
Dr. Death
did it.
Yeah.
What? So that really did. I just want to. I want to make this very clear. That was instrumental in both my initial impressions of wrestling and my inability to enjoy it, because I saw that as a kid and it kind of scarred me a little bit on wrestling, because I just thought, well, even if it's fake, even if it's real, like wherever that lands, they sure are terrible to John Stossel in this video. So I just never quite got over that. I presumably, I mean, you weren't. I don't think you were alive yet, were you? Or
I
were
probably
you?
was.
Baby
I was
or
probably
something.
young.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, you were a little kid. This have any impact on you? Because you're a wrestling guy. You love that stuff.
Well, yeah. So this is kind of a larger thing that even happens today. During the run up to the Ronda Rousey fight, Dana White, ruffled some feathers on Twitter by saying, that the WWE network is $9.99 for pay-per-views because it's fake S-word. And everybody, all the wrestler fans and wrestlers are like, well, it's not fake. My body has been scarred and broken. So, it's really just, either John Stossel is just kind of a smug wiener penis, possible, right?
Yeah.
Or he knew more. He had done good interviews and understood that the issue is that it's predetermined. Fake is kind of for wrestling fans and wrestlers. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people take that as a pejorative, as just the way that you can get away with saying that what they do is stupid and not worth anybody's time.
Sure, I can, and I totally understand why that hits some people that way. I totally get that.
And so that's, and also now in the era of the kind of postmodern wrestling fan, it is a scoff line because it's like, yeah, it's fake. And also, are we convincing ourselves that Game of Thrones is a documentary so we can enjoy it?
Right.
I enjoy a lot of fake things on TV.
It's it's 90% of what we love.
Yeah. It's like saying David Blaine is fake. Well, yeah, but he works his ass off, or whoever you want to mention, Magic.
But Magic and wrestling are very, very similar in that for many, keeping the mystery of things that could be real or performing it in a way that is seamless, where the things that are real blend with the unreal to heighten both.
Yeah.
Is when the art is at its best, and I think that there are pluses and minuses to that argument.
Yeah,
because there are some magicians, mentalists specifically, people who do mind reading effects, that believe that it doesn't matter if there are people out there lying about being a psychic. It's better for people who have no interest in claiming they're psychic because it makes the effects look better. If people in the back of their mind think that somebody could really read your mind, that makes things more interesting when people do a mentalism effect. Now, I would say that that's just because most mentalism effects are really boring, but that there is a school of thought.
Yeah, it's not so. Let's get back to the penis wiener or wiener penis. When he did that,
is he a penis wiener? Maybe that's a phrase that people should use about John Stossel.
Tune into John to Stossel.
The government thinks that wiener penis is something that everyone should be saying.
So when he did that, though, when he asked that question, that seemed like a fair question. The other guy seemed like a human steroid, and
sure, just looking for
probably legally
anything to set him off.
Yeah, and probably shouldn't have done that. Was there ever any charges?
No,
I don't know how that went.
Let me make this clear. You should never resort to violence. You should never punch somebody to make somebody feel that it's real. There is a long history of wrestlers getting too rough with media people. Probably most notably is John Stossel and when Hulk Hogan put Richard Belzer in a sleeper and knocked him out and then dropped him like a sack of potatoes on the floor.
I remember that.
Whoa, that happened somewhere?
Yeah. Belzer sued Hogan and I think the WWF and won.
Oh my gosh, hold on a second. Hulk Hogan, Richard Belzer. There's video of this. I'm not watching it now, but I gotta watch that. I don't know why that's cracking me up and making me laugh, but yeah, okay. So when it happened though, was it a talk show or something, or where was this?
Yeah, no. Belzer at a late night show. This was and I'm going to lose my wrestling mark card because I can't remember which WrestleMania it was, but it was the one with Mr. T and Hulk Hogan against Roddy Piper and Bob Orton. And
he's doing his stand-up or something.
Well, no. So he eventually in his stand-up does a whole bit about this.
Oh, okay.
About how he now has a house in Italy thanks to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's amazing, and it really comes back to this idea that whenever wrestling goes mainstream, whenever the mainstream element kind of has to deal with wrestling, especially in the 80s, not so much the 90s, because the 90s wrestling was like kind of a little bit more out there as like, hey, we're a television show and all the people on here are very athletic actors.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, listen, you watch old footage of wrestling crowds, and there are riots, and I don't think it's because everybody thought it was real, but certainly the shared illusion was very strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys, at that point, these are guys who came up in the business when that was it. You didn't say anything. And a lot of times, the promoters then, they'd make the good guys and the bad guys ride on separate buses and stay in different hotels. And if they got, if they were spotted hanging out together outside, the arena, they would get fined or fired. There was all sorts of stuff that basically was done by promoters at the time because they believed it was very important to keep the shared illusion. And John Stossel, coming in and thinking that he's found the scoop of the century by
Expose.
saying, he's like, well, maybe it's not real. Maybe it's just a ruse.
All right, that's interesting perspective because I hadn't really given much thought to the idea of what the culture within the organization was like at the time.
So I believe the promoter was Bill Watts, but he had a rule that if you got into a fight at a bar, if you won, nothing would happen to you. If you lost the fight at the bar, you were fired.
Whoa, really?
Because if you were dumb enough to pick a fight, you better win it.
Yeah.
Because this is an extent. You come to Tupelo, old, hard head, McGregor is going to say, I whipped his ass.
Yeah. And this is not really that different than that. It's kind of a bar fight in a weird way.
No, this is, Dr. Death is not the smartest person on the planet by any imagination. I didn't know the man personally, but I'm going to go ahead on his body of work and say that he probably was a little bit of a impetuous fellow. John Stossel, especially at that point in his career, was very needling and annoying. He very much, even at his best, does kind of agenda-driven reporting. Was predetermined or fake, whatever you want to put. But fake is the pejorative word. And also what we don't see is really all the bits leading up to that interview. Which would probably include a lot of John Stossel. So why are you Dr. Death?
Kind of
Have
baiting
you
him
killed somebody?
Right. He was probably ready to punch John Stossel way beyond the is it fake comment.
Probably.
There's a lot more leading up to that.
Yeah, and they probably, you fill a hallway full of cameramen and, all that. I'm not trying to justify the use of violence to shut John Stossel up, but you know what I mean. Like
No.
But I'm also not trying to dissuade it.
Yeah, right.
No. I mean, John Stossel's being a wiener, and Dr. Death shouldn't have hit somebody. There can be a lot of wrong elements to this, and it doesn't validate any of them. I think it's probably more wrong to hit somebody than to be a wiener.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just kind of what happened, and ultimately I think that's the kind of stuff that led wrestling to kind of rebrand. There's a great Vince McMahon in the 90s, which a lot of the reason also why they went to admitting that they were fake or predetermined or whatever, was that they didn't want to get regulated by state athletic commissions.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they're theater, you don't test theater people for steroids before you come into Nevada.
Right. Right.
No one's like, banging on the Jersey Boys dressing room to get a piss test.
Not yet. They're not.
Yes, unless it's, I don't know, something else.
By the way, quick trivia here. Dr. Death died in 2009, condition related to his throat cancer. He was only 49 years old. Too many wrestlers die too young, although his is not necessarily related to wrestling. But his final match, Brian Ibbett, was August 15th, 2009 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm sorry. Was it 2009? Yeah. August 15th of that year. So there you go.
Look at that. So I mean, we're just past the anniversary of that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Stossel still kicking it though. Still here.
Stossel.
You just can't
outlived
take
him.
that man out.
What does that mean?
That proves that I was right.
You got it.
Dead, and I live on.
You got to give.
I'm John Stossel.
You got it. So for me, the comparisons, because 2020 at the time had John Stossel and Geraldo Rivera working for them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And I remember
Two of
at
the
the
best
time,
mustaches in the business.
Yes, and I remember at the time thinking Stossel was made to look like more of a proper journalist because Rivera was a nutball even then. And I remember Stossel coming off sounding like the guy with the mustache that you trusted versus the guy with the mustache that seemed to be opening vaults that had nothing in them. Mm. And then today, not so much, I guess. They're both doing similar things. They both work at Fox, right? I guess they do.
Yeah.
And they're whatever you want to say about whatever dubious things they're doing or non-dubious things they're doing. But at the time, it's weird that I even have memories this in my childhood of this at all, that I even cared about this. But for some reason, what people were saying on 2020 mattered to me. Isn't that a little weird? That's a little weird.
Well, I mean, it's the proof that the more media we have, the better, because the less media we had, the more we could, you could legitimately say that John Stossel is the most trusted name in news. And I don't think that that's a good idea.
As you say it sounds weird coming out of your mouth. But in 1984, as a very young person, I would hear that and go, yeah, of course he is. He got hit in the face by a wrestler, proving his point. Like, you just bought into it, right? Like,
yeah.
Whether or not
I'm the king of the world.
Right.
All the news flows through me. Bow down before John Stossel.
Wow. You do a good John Stossel, I'll give you that.
You do.
That's pretty good.
Oh man, I can't believe I've gotten this much use out of my John Stossel impression in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at your
shocking amount. I didn't know anybody. It's like literally, it's just to make Brian laugh. And now we have we did a whole John Stossel thing on Night Attack last night, and now more John Stossel.
Wow, that's amazing. I know that. I'm on your show next week, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be good. Was I going to say? Oh, and I was just looking at your Twitter feed, and there's another Stossel reference. So yeah, I don't know. It's all coming up Stossel this week.
All Stossel all the time.
Yeah.
Well, because we were talking before, I came into town into Austin on Sunday, and I was like. It's like, oh, well, we started doing John Stossel impressions. I'm like, oh, we should have the Stoss Olympics.
Oh.
And we should, but I have no idea what that means. I just like the name. Like, we didn't write a bid. And then last night we had Cargill on, who is a writer of Sinister 2 and a longtime friend of Brian's. And so we started just doing John Stossel impressions for no reason.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, when your one-man Stossel tour begins, let us know. We'll pimp it here on the show.
Yes, I'm just gonna do an hour with John.
That'd be fantastic,
and it'll just be me. So what's the deal with airline? They come in such a weird package.
Just do Seinfeld jokes as John Stossel.
Just I'll do Seinfeld's act as John Stossel.
I'm in.
Why do cats have such an attitude? Let's talk about cats versus dogs.
What's up with that? That's amazing. Well, tell the fine people where they can find more of you this week, where you want them to go. Where would you like their squinties pointed?
You only got 2 more weeks of me ramming this down your throat here, people. So I think we can all come to an understanding. If you have not backed the Kickstarter for The Contender, please do it. thecontender.us/Kickstarter. Go there right now. The more we unlock, the bigger and better that every deck should be. Because a lot of people are like, man, you're overfunded. Yeah, but if you already have a deck, then you're going to get more. The bigger and bigger the Kickstarter get, the more and more we're going to do. And we are adding stuff every single day.
Yeah.
Now, here is what you can do if you've already bought into the Kickstarter. Number 1, go ahead and check because we've added new options. If you want to upgrade, that's up to you. Number 2, no more money from you. Here's what we need. We have a bunch of, we call them our PAC, our political action committee, our backer pack goals. They're all, songs, pictures, videos that you can take to support the Contender. Now, a lot of that, here's why we need this. It's because in this final 12-day push, when we go to press, this looks like what it is, which is, a big, fun trend on the internet. It looks like a bigger, more fun trend on the internet if there is this social proof of people enjoying and playing the game and supporting it in their own way. So if you backed the Kickstarter, you get a print and play that you can make, print it out, and we're doing specifically what we're looking for are pictures of people playing the game at presidential libraries.
That's amazing.
Or pictures with candidates.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Oh, wow.
The big one is if you can get a Contender card signed or a picture with the card, you will be our friend forever. So, like, all of our Iowa listeners, Iowa DMS listeners, I call to you. This would be awesome if while the 90 presidential candidates that have currently descended on your fair state, if you can get a picture with one of them and the card, you will be my hero.
So if someone gets Trump with a card, will that just the world ends then, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we've also made a standing offer to all the campaigns that if a candidate takes a picture by themselves with a card, we'll do 5 more cards of that candidate.
Oh, nice. Which gives a little freebie for them, little extra exposure.
Maybe if I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine.
You guys are. Here's what everyone should know. I'm going to say this out loud. If you ever need, this is where you and Brian and your people. I'm going to call them your people. Those you associate with.
What do you mean, you people?
This is where you guys have such strength in an area like making a card game or faking out everybody with a fake romance book and getting it to number 1 on iTunes or all these sorts of things. You guys are really good at thinking about all those angles. Like, what if a candidate held up a card? What if you guys should just put yourselves up for hire just for that kind of stuff. People would hire you just to figure out all the weird little hacky, the system ways to punk the world.
Well, if you want to hire me, then holler at your boy. I'm here. I'm just sitting on my butt farting. So just, come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. All right, so follow Justin. Get all that stuff.
Yeah, Justin Ariana Kickstarter Contender game on Kickstarter. We're over 1,000 backers, 1,000 followers on the Twitter. So we're gonna do more Trump cards like we promised. At some point, I'm gonna do a naked cartwheel. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, my gosh.
Love you guys.
That I hadn't heard of. See you later, Justin. Have a good one. Bye. All right. Lovely. I want to see the naked cartwheel, don't you?
I would. What do I pay to not see the naked cartwheel?
It's actually...
Because there's a point at which you'll see something that just shouldn't be seen.
Yeah, what level gets me out of seeing that?
Right, exactly.
We have a quick email from Dave. Wrote in, says, reason America, by the way, we should have saved this for Justin, now that I think about it. It's very political. But he says, the reason America has such a strong two-party system is because we have this, quote, first past the post, winner takes all, unquote, election system. Voters don't like to vote don't like to vote for a third party because they feel that candidate couldn't win an election, and their vote for Jake Green Party is thrown away after Joe Republican wins. If we had instant runoff voting, voters could confidently vote for their first choice candidate. Then if Jake Green Party doesn't win the majority of votes, their vote could go to the second choice, Jerry Democrat, and their vote would not be thrown away. I know lots of folks talk about yelling at their iPods and listening to you guys talk about nerdy things. I don't do that until you start talking about politics, which I guess is my nerd thing. Vote for Joe, though, Dave. Wow.
Yeah, so true. I mean, that's what they do in Australia. You have your first choice and second choice, and if your first choice is just not going to have enough votes to win, then your vote automatically goes to the second choice.
I don't think that's such a bad idea.
No,
I've thought a bunch
so
about it, and it fixes your third party split the vote problem.
Right. I think more people would say, all right, well, you know what? I actually kind of agree with the Libertarian candidate, or I kind of agree with the Independent or the Green Party candidate. And then they won't feel like, gosh, if I vote for them, I'm basically letting this other guy just waltz his way right into the White House.
Right, which is true, but if with a rule like this, you get two things good happening. One, maybe your candidate does have a chance now because people may vote for him like they would normally, except they know that it's not going to mean somebody else wins if they do. So in other words, they're willing to take the risk and put their vote where they want, where their heart is. Then, if he doesn't win, you still get to vote for the guy you wanted under him or that's next up. Why? Now I'm mad. Why aren't we doing this? Someone, you know what? I've gotten a bunch of emails about this. All of them have either helped explain it or given me more reasons to wonder why we don't do it. Can someone tell me why we don't? Give me a rational argument why we don't. And if it's just to keep the status quo, I get that. And I know that's what's probably happening. But is there another valid argument pro the way we do it?
Do you think that any president, Republican or Democrat, who's currently holding office would say, yeah, this sounds like a great idea?
Oh, of course they don't like it, but that's my F those guys.
When that bill crosses their desk, they're not going to be in a position.
You make a good point. It needs to be there needs to be some sort of public referendum on it or something. But,
right, agreed. Yeah.
But is there some political scientist in the audience who studies all this, understands this stuff, and can make an argument against it? That's what I want to know. Or an argument against the thing that I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
Also, Dave, we now know what Dave's affiliation is because he says vote for Joe, though, which is Joe Republican. Anyway, I find that stuff fascinating, and I'd like to learn more. That's all. Just want to learn more. I do not claim to be any sort of expert on anything political, but I'm interested in this one issue. Someone in the chat room said, "Do you remember how much trouble we had for just counting normal votes? Imagine how complicated this would be."
Oh God, yeah.
I don't think it has to be
Chad is hanging down lower than the other Chad.
I think it's too easy for people just to say, this is too complicated, and then just not do it. I think that there are ways around it. We live in 2015. We can figure it out. So that doesn't work for me.
It's the future, people. Come on.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders, that's true. Is he pro this kind of voting? I like Bernie Sanders. I kind of think he's interesting. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Brian, let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. TheMorningStream@gmail.com is our email address. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you sure can. 801-471-0462. Try to play some of those tomorrow. On Twitter, @MorningStream, @ScottJohnson, @Coverville on Twitter, and frogpants.reddit.com is our subreddit. Starting to use that more. Check it for articles and things like that. So please get involved if you wanna. And don't forget, you can always support us at patreon.com/TMS. Every little bit helps the show grow, helps us do new things, rad things, awesome things, and that's what we like to do. I think that's it. Brian?
Okay.
Oh, and the new chat room worked out great. Big thanks to T2T2 for the new home. We really appreciate it. Very smooth transition. Everything went great. Very happy to be here and be among you fine people.
Right. If you haven't made it over to the new one, then make sure to check it out.
Yep. The details are linked at frogpants.com/live, where we do the live show every day. The embedded thing there is the new chat room. So feel free to check all that out and be a part of the live show whenever you can. Brian, I guess that's it. Let's get the hell out of here. Do you have? Did you bring a song?
Always.
Okay.
So our bingo card creator Dice Tomato sent this one in. Was just looking for a cover of 12 by the Pointer Sisters for good old nostalgia. Now 12 is also known as the Sesame Street number counting song. It's the one that's in a giant pinball machine. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the one.
12. I didn't know it was originally anything. I thought it was just Sesame Street.
It was Sesame. Well, it was just Sesame Street. Pointer Sisters recorded it for Sesame Street.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And people covered it, including a group here called the Wicked Hemlocks from their 2007 album Quill of the Mad. Here is their cover of Number Count.
I love it.
Pointer Sisters.
Amazing. We'll play it now. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Nicole, Tom, the whole Wednesday mess. That'll all happen tomorrow. See you guys then.